Hello and welcome back to another video. Glad you could join us. And boy, do we have a discussion today. We got to talk about it. We got to address the elephant in the room. We got to talk about your kids and photography and going to photographers. Okay, so this is really... Okay, there are some parents that are really good with their kids. Okay? They have good attitudes. When they go to a photographer, they've kind of already worked with them a little bit. The kid's already kind of calm. And sometimes the kid just has an outgoing personality, right? Not all kids have this. Understand that. And for them, it's a easier experience. Doesn't mean that they're models. It just means that they are an easier experience for everybody. Everybody goes away happy. And then you have the 30% crowd. I'm going to give you some advice to the 30% crowd. The 30% crowd are the ones that think their kid is a model. They are not. They're screaming and yelling to get them to smile. Do you understand that throwing a tantrum as an adult to get your kid to scream and smile and throwing them around is you're basically abusing your kid. And sometimes we have to step in and stop it. I've had this happen several times. It's really amazing how many times it's happened so much that I have to address it, and I'm making a video out of it. You guys need to stop, okay? Number one, lower your bar of expectations, okay? Their eye direction isn't necessarily always going to be towards us. They're not always going to smile. In fact, very rarely are they going to smile. You know, we try to capture those moments, and we try to move as fast as we can, but it doesn't always happen. And you need to understand that. Okay? As a parent, you need to understand that screaming and yelling at your kid or yelling at us is not the way to do it. That's not. You have a bad attitude, and seriously, you have a bad attitude. Okay, let me tell you something. When you enroll your child into a daycare or into a school or whatever the case might be, they will tell you it typically takes 2 weeks for a child to adapt to that teacher or whatever the case may be. Okay? 2 weeks. You expect us to be able to get your kid happy and smiling within a matter of seconds. You know? You've been with my kid for a couple minutes. What do you mean you can't get him to... It's not on me. It's on you. You're the parent. We will try our best. Most of us have kids that are photographers. Many of us do. We understand kids. We know this. We don't expect this of ours. But yet, for some reason, well, I'm paying for these, and I want the best. Well, you know what? Little Johnny doesn't really care about what you're paying for. And if you have this kind of attitude, then I tell you, I expect perfection. You ever heard that? I'm just a perfectionist, you know, and they'll kind of laugh. I'm just a perfectionist. Perfectionism is a curse. It is a major curse. This will pretty much leave you in poverty if you're a perfectionist. In all honesty, it's a poverty mindset. It will destroy your life. Okay? Presentable and perfectionism are not the same thing. We are trying to give you something presentable. Okay? Presentable images that you can have and to share and to hold on to. And you're wanting perfectionism. And here's the thing about perfectionism. 70% of people don't even like the way they look. That's an actual fact. That's a stat. That has been verified over and over and over and over again. You can look that up. So is it the photographer's fault that 70% of people don't like the way they look? And you're going to blame the photographer because they didn't do their job? No, it's not their job. It's you. This is on you. This falls on you. Okay? Now, here's a tidbit too, especially ones with small kids. See, kids as they get a little older, they get over 6, 7 years old. They get, you know, many of them kind of they'll break out of their shell a little bit, depending on the kid's personality and things like that. Some kids are more open early on, and you know they like taking pictures. But the ones that don't aren't really into it. You know, like I said, I mean the atmosphere of the parent is really what causes a lot of this, or sometimes it's just their personality. But when you get younger, okay, you know what's on a kid's mind? Food and naps. That's what's on a kid's mind. Not that you're paying $200 for pictures. Food and nap. That's what they care about. And yet, you as a parent, you know their nap times, you know their feeding times, and those are usually pretty consistent with kids because you kind of have to do that with them. And you want to schedule a photo appointment during what is typically a nap time, or you want to schedule, when they haven't eaten yet, and you wonder why they're cranky. Maybe it's because you're not following a routine. You were breaking that routine, and the kid doesn't understand it, and they're going to be upset. Okay? Come to us after their nap, or an hour before they typically nap. Okay? Come to us after they have eaten. Okay? These are very simple. We get people sometimes that they'll schedule, let's say they schedule at 1 o'clock. I don't know your kid's sleep routine. I don't know what they eat. I don't know any of that. Oh, no, this is a good time. Okay? It's not a good time. It's a good time. It might be a good time for you, but it's not a good time for the kid, and that's what you have to understand. You have to adjust yourself to that child when you are making appointments. Okay? Let me tell you something. And you show up, and then you go, well, we need like a half hour. It's really like their nap time, or, they haven't eaten yet. This and that. You're not respecting us. You're not respecting time. You're certainly not respecting your kid. You need to reschedule and come back when you want. And then they get upset. They'll give you 15 minutes, something like that to get yourself situated. But you know what? Come on. Are you serious? You knew this going in. You knew this before the appointment. You knew this when the question was asked towards you. And yet you still defied it. You said, no, it's going to be different this time. No, it's not going to be different this time. Right? It's insanity that keeps doing the same thing and thinks something different's going to happen. It is not. So just stop. Stop doing that. Last thing, the outfit changes. Oh my gosh. Show up in the outfit that you primarily want to get the pictures you primarily want. Let's say you have followed the earlier steps. Okay? And you showed up, had the outfit on that you really, really want. Okay? When you start changing outfits, they start getting cranky. That's just how they are. That's how people are too, okay? If you can get a second outfit on, make that your secondary thing, then you have accomplished something, and we can get some out of that. By the time you get to that, if you get to the third one, they are going to be mad. Okay? So just stop. Stop. Okay? Lower your bar, lower expectations. What's the first thing I said? Lower your bar, lower your expectations. Even with adults, we have to do this. Do you think adults like changing their outfits all the time? No, they don't. You don't. So, you better do this. I said so. That doesn't. What? So what? Who cares what you said? You're annoying everybody. Okay? So stop the screaming, stop the yelling, stop telling them to smile, and all these other things. Look, just not. Calm it down. If your kid has an outgoing personality and is a little bit more relaxed and you're more relaxed, we're going to get good pictures, okay? They're not going to be model pictures, but they'll be better. But if you're screaming and you're yelling and you're throwing a tantrum, they're not going to be good, okay? It's going to be a very quick session. I scheduled for 45 minutes, yeah, but you've been screaming at your kid for 15. The kid's crying. We can't get anywhere now, okay? Just stop. Okay? You screwed up. Make sure they're fed. Make sure they're rested. And then we can go forward. It's not rocket science, but it's simple science. And, if you follow that, we can look to get you some presentable images. Okay? And the parents that are doing that, fantastic. Those are the ones we love. Those are the ones we want repeat customers with. The ones that can do these things, that can follow these things, because the tone in the room is so much more calm and relaxed. So, you can usually get better pictures. But like I said, your kid's not a model. None of them are. So, we'll do our best. You do your best. And I'll see you in the next video.